Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Feast and salutation, all the brothers doing this work in truth and in sincerity. This is First Kings. Is it Second Kings or First Kings? I think it's Second Kings chapter 2. Bear with me 1 second. This is 2 Kings chapter 2 verse 2. Chapter 2 verse 1. And it came to pass when Yahweh would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind. That's a chariot, man. Hurricane. That Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, Tarry here, I pray thee, for Yahweh hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, As Yahweh liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel. And the sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, Knowest thou that Yahweh will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, Yea, I know it. Hold your peace. And Elijah said unto him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for Yahweh hath sent me to Jericho. And he said, As Yahweh liveth, and my soul, and thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they came to Jericho. And the sons of the prophets that were at Jericho, came to Elisha. As you can see, the prophets had sons, and the prophets' sons were also prophets. The sons of the prophets, they were prophets too, man. And he said unto them, Knowest thou that Yahweh will take away thy master from thy head today? And he don't heard this 2 times, man. The Lord told him like 3 times that he was finna be taken away. Elijah was finna be taken away from him. And he answered, Yea, I know it. Hold your peace. Verse 6. And Elijah said unto him, Tarry, I pray thee here, for Yahweh has sent me to Jordan. And he said, As Yahweh liveth, and thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. I will not leave thee. And they too went on. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off. And they too stood by Jordan. So the sons of the prophets were also prophets. Verse 8. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that the two went over on dry ground. So he basically did what Moses did, but not on a big scale. He had a form of spiritual powers, and he smote the water so they could walk on dry ground, which was under the water. Verse 9. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee, before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. So he was asking of a double portion of Elijah's spirit, man. To be, have that spiritual powers and all that, man. The spirit of prophecy and all that, man. Because he was an understudy of Elijah, and he was asking for a double portion of his spirit. Verse 10. And he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. But if not, it shall not be so. So if he would have seen him get taken up by a chariot, then it was going to be so. If he didn't, it wasn't. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, and behold, there appeared a chariot of fire, a vehicle, a chariot of fire, and a horseman of fire, and parted them both asunder. and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. That's that anti-gravity that portal, man, at the bottom of the ship. That anti-gravitational portal, man, pulls you up. Beam me up, Scotty. That's that whirlwind pulls you up into the chariot. It is talking about the chariots of Yahweh Shemel Shah, so-called UFOs, verse 12. And Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and rent them in two pieces. He's the chariots of Israel. The same way Elijah was taken from Elisha is the same way the men of the Lord are going to be delivered, man. He took up his slide. I read that, and he stood by the bank of Jordan. That was really the point of this, the chariots of Israel. So I'm gonna stop right there. Let me go to Acts chapter 1. This is Acts chapter 1, verse 9. And when he had spoken these things while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight. So when Yahweh Shah was done with his work, he had no risen and everything, he was exhorting his men and concerning prophecy and all of that. He was taken up into a chariot to go to the Father. And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, they was looking up. As he went up, they was watching Yahweh Shai as the whirlwind was pulling him up into the chariot. Behold, two men stood by them in white apparel. These are angels. These two men are angels, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahweh Shai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven. So the Lord is coming back the same way he left, in a chariot. Because those are the vehicles of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, which mean our salvation, man. Those ships are gonna take us off this earth, man. Come up hither, man. Revelations chapter 11. Verse 11, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. And that's happening now, man. The spirit of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah is lifting. Is causing our people to stand up, just like that valley of dry bones, man. Our people are rising up, man. They waking up to who they are, because they've been in a dead state for 3 days, man. Wait, slap. Yeah, Khan. And great fear fell upon them which saw them. And the number one person that's in fear is Esau Edom, because he know this is the end, man. Because he see our people standing up. They are rising up. Kwam Yashala, man. Yashala is rising up, man. That's how these crackers is getting scared. They scared, man. Great fear fell upon whoever that saw us, who was seeing us, or who is seeing us right now. These elites, man, they see us rising up. Verse 12, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And like the apostles always say, it's a possibility that voice might be in Hebrew, man. Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. What did I just read in Acts chapter 1? Yahweh Shai was taken up in a cloud. So a chariot, a UFO, man. And their enemies beheld them. So our enemies are going to watch. The enemies of Israel are going to watch them get delivered into them chariots, man. I can also get something else. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 1. Wait, slide. Wait, is it 5? Yeah, 5. Verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as afflicted him and made no account of his labors. And that's what you crackers do. You don't make no account of our labors, man. How we slaved and built this country, man. You fucking devils. Verse 2. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. When they see those chariots, when they see the salvation, like it says in Revelations 11, man, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. Whose salvation? Yahweh, man, Jacob, man. So far beyond all that they look for. They're not looking for no so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to get beamed up in chariots, man, and UFOs. They're not looking for that. Verse 3, they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reapproach. Talking shit, walking by the camp, saying this and saying that, snow dummies, all these scoffers and shit. You people gonna regret that shit, man. You gonna repent yourself, but hey, you still gonna get destroyed. Verse 4, we fools are counting his life madness. They say, get a job. You're wearing dresses. And his end to be without honor. And that's what y'all think. They don't think it's honor in what we doing. Verse 5, how is his numbered among the children of God and his lot among the saints? That's what you people gonna realize soon. And with that, man,